English. Okay, so that is block one, introduction to Indian literature. So I was, I'll share you the PPT. You carry on. I'll take the class within a few minutes. So Lasha, you tell me if you see the PPT. Can you see the PPT? Madam, PPT కనిపిస్తుందా మీకు?
Yes, sir, కనిపిస్తుంది.
Okay. Ninna, actually, I was discussing about this.
Okay, sir.
So, what you can see on your screen now? ఏం కనిపిస్తుంది మీకు స్క్రీన్ పైన?
Indian literature PDF.
ఓకే ఓకే ఈ స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసేసుకో.
Okay.
So yesterday I was talking about what is Indian literature, that I have given the definition. Indian literature refers to the body of literary works production in India and by Indian writers written in various Indian languages and in English, reflecting India's history, culture, tradition, and social life. Okay. So
Okay.
literature exhibit our culture, how what sort of history we had, okay, and what sort of culture we had, and what sort of traditions we follow, and all. If we know the English language particularly, then only we can get to know the literature of other countries, okay, entire globe. Then only we'll get to know and we'll share, okay. So Indian literature is multilingual, written in Sanskrit and Tamil and Pali language and etc. So and major periods in ancient Indian periods, the Vedas, Upanishads, and like epic Ramayana, Mahabharata were written, and classical Sanskrit drama, that is Kalidasa. So in medieval Indian literature, we had Bhakti and Sufi poetry. Also, in medieval Indian literature, famous notable poets were there. That is Kabir Das and Mirabai and Tulsidas. Okay, and in modern Indian literature, nationalism, socialism, social reforms, and realism. And a few writers were there in modern Indian literature, that is Bankim Chandra Chatterjee and Premchand, Rabindranath Tagore, and all. Indian English Indian writing in English, that is post-colonial, that is identity. A few themes were there: identity and colonialism and globalization. Famous writers during the post-colonial period, that is R.K. Narayan. So R.K. Narayan's writings are very good. Even I've gone through Swami and Friends, and he has what I can say, his contributions are remarkable for the Indian society, and also Mulkraj Anand and Raja Rao, Arundhati Roy, and all. And themes were they were writing about the mythology and spirituality based on caste and gender and class, and colonialism and nationalism, and about traditions versus modernity, social injustice, and reform, like how the women were treated and how they neglected only, hmm, uh, these sort of things. And also, they have mentioned in the first unit about the discovery of India. It was written by Jawaharlal Nehru in 1946. Okay, while he was in prison during the, yes, please, Indian freedom struggle, Indianness. Okay, he has explained about Indianness, that is unity in diversity, a civilization shaped by many culture, religious and traditions, a continuous historical and spirit from ancient to modern India, values of tolerance, coexistence, and secularism. Okay. Also mentioned about the K.M. George in comparative in Indian literature, volume one. The book, it is the book name. K.M. George, a noted Indian literary critic, present in a new way of understanding Indian literature to a comparative inclusive approach in comparative Indian literature, volume one. So the main ideas of the K.M. George is India literature as a compositive whole, okay, comparative method, rejection of monolithic views, interaction among Indian languages, importance of translations, okay. And also ancient Indian literature is ancient Indian literature refers to the earliest literary refers to the earliest literary works of India, composed mainly in Sanskrit, Pali, and Tamil, reflecting Indians' religious, philosophical, and cultural and social life. Major categories of Vedic literature is four Vedas, that is Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Samaveda, and Atharveda. Associated texts were Brahmins and Aryakas and Upanishads, concerned with the rituals, philosophy, and spiritual knowledge. A, epics, that is Itihasa, that is Ramayana, Valmiki, Mahabharata, Vyasa, including Bhagavad Gita, deals with the dharma, duty, morality, and human values. Okay, so are you taking the screenshots? Hello, ma'am. I'm talking to you
Yes,
only.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay, good, good. So, yes, and what I was talking about. Yes, a few Puranas, that is mythologies and historical narratives explain creation, genealogy, gods, and legends. Classical Sanskrit literature, Dharma. I think I've completed it. Dharmas, Kalidasas, that is Shakuntala. Bhasha, poetry, Kavya, that is Kalidasas. Bharavi, prose, that is Dandins, and it's in Kadambari. It's in the Sanskrit, Bana Bhatta. Buddhist and Jain literature written in Pali and Prakrit, three Patakas, Jataka tales, focus on ethics and non-violence and compassion. Ancient Tamil, that is Sangam literature, earliest South Indian literature work like uh, Tolapikiyam, Ettu Togi, Pottu Pattu, and the themes of love, that is Akam, and war, that is Puram. Okay, and key features strong emphasis on the dharma and the spirituality, oral tradition in the beginning, rich use of myth and symbolism and philosophy, foundation for later Indian literature. Okay, so here Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra is an ancient Indian treatise on the dramatic art, dance, and music written in Sanskrit. It was considered the foundation of English performing art. That is period composed roughly between the 200 BCE to 200 CE. The contents are the Natya. Natya Shastra consists of 36 chapters and dealt with the drama, that is Natya, dance, that is Nritya, and Nrita, music is Sangita, acting is Abhinaya. So this most important concept in Natya Shastra is rasa theory, that is Bharata Muni, okay, identifies eight rasas, later it became nine, okay, that is love, pathos, anger, come quickly, I have class getting over. Heroism, fear, disgust, and wonder, and later, uh, yeah, it's that is Shanta, that is peace. Okay, Shanti, Manashanti, we call it. No, that is the thing. And eight schedule of the Indian Constitution official languages. Actually, it was originally it was 14 in 1950. Later, it became 22. So the 22 official languages are like Assam, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Maithili, Malayalam, Marathi, and Meithai, that is Manipuri, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Santali, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu. So these are the official languages in India as of now. So um please be online. I'll come again after a few minutes. So we'll talk about this. Indian literature and the movements, translation of the Indian context, and introduction to the Indian poetry in translation. So, Lasya, are you there? Okay. Just tell me what you have understand by the expression um, Indian literature. Can you say in one or two words? So, Lasya, can you speak? What is Indian literature? I have given the PPT already. Hope you have captured it. And what, according to Nehru, is Indianness? Okay. So here, Indian literature is about it exhibit what sort of tradition we follow. Okay, what sort of uh, uh, like our works, our histories. Okay, our culture it exhibits, and Jawaharlal Nehru used the word Indianness here. That is unity in diversity. Okay, though we have lot of religions. Okay, and though we have caste and all, after all we all follow the humanity. Okay, and we follow the brotherhood. Okay, in India, what is the major literary tradition of ancient Indian literature? Okay, and what are the contributions of this Prakrit language? Okay, and the Sanskrit language. What is Natya Shastra? So Bharatamuni, what he says, what are Navarasas and all? You have to tell me. I'll give you a few minutes. Please come up with the answer. So here in Indian literature and movements, a few movements are there. That is Bhakti movement, the uh, and Sufism. Okay, so literature and socio-religious movement is well known for literature is essentially a product of society. During the turn of millennium, idea witnessed many religious movements, and a few of them were against certain ritualistic practices within Hinduism. Okay, so you could see we are living in the society, okay, Indian society. So it's based on our area will be praying different god or goddess. Okay, so if you see uh, what I can say. What is happening in the Khammam district and what is happening in the Adilabad district is entirely different. If you see their tradition, if you see their culture, their dressing style, or the dialect, you will be astonished. Okay, so here, in this period also witnessed the spread of Buddhism and Jainism, which is tremendously influenced the people, showing. So when you see in Hinduism only, we have a lot of differences, but when you see the Jainism and Buddhism, actually the Buddhism and Jainism mainly deals with the peace, okay, generosity, kindness, okay, compassion and all. The period was also known for the intense religious and social activities, with each group asserting its supremacy. This religiously uh, atmosphere gave birth bhakti movement. The movement had twofold objectives, that is to challenge the supremacy of certain group over Hinduism, to foreground the importance of the devotion, the realization of ultimate. The Bhakti movement took birth in Tamil Nadu in the 6th century with Narayans and Alvars spreading the movement. Narayans and Alvars, two groups of saint poets. Okay, so how many of you seen the movie of Kamala? What is his name? Kamala? Kamala Hassan's movie, no? Uh, there is a movie actually. There is this Botu called this Dashavataram. Okay. So the Dashavatar movie, yeah, you could see, you will understand what is the difference between the Bhakti movement like Narayans and Alvars, two groups. The Narayans were devotees Lord Shiva and Alvars were the devotees of Lord Vishnu. That you could see in that movie. And Sufism, similar to Bhakti movement, Sufism is considered a reformist and a progressive movement within the Islam. It underscored primacy of devotion and argues against all kind of discrimination. Sufism is a religion intense devotion. Okay, so you could see in Islam also this Sheikh and some other what we call Sheikh and something. I don't remember that. Love is manifestation of poetry, music, and dance are the instrument of worship, attaining oneness with the God. It is idol. The word Sufi derives the name from another Arabic word, Suf, which means wool. The Muslim saints who wore garments of wool began to called Sufi saints. The now also we could see in our daily life the people wearing a cap or a dress with the wool. And it had begun in the 7th century AD. Sufism entered India in the 12th century with Muslim invaders to become popular in the 13th century. So in the next class, we'll see progressive writers' movements and the concept of Sahitya, okay, and translation in the Indian context, okay, and major Indian theories and translation to the colonial period and translation in India, that we'll see, and the principle of translation and all, okay, and introduction to the Indian poetry in translation, okay, issue in translation and strategies used in translation poetry. These all are we'll see in the next class. Thank you.